Right now, you are in a leadership role and you're either killing it as a leader or you are completely frustrated. And I know that if you are a great leader, that you're a little bit of both, right? You're doing this amazing job, but you've got some challenges that are killing your team's productivity and they're killing your ability to really lead effectively. And I want to talk about two of those that you think might be out of your control, and then one that is 100% in your control. I actually think all three, if you play your cards right, can be in your control, but they feel like something that's been handed to you. So let's just jump right into the first one. And that is an ambiguous company vision. So if you've ever worked for an organization, or maybe you do right now, that has shiny bauble syndrome, you know what I'm talking about. And what I mean by that is they see something shiny and new and sexy, a project, an idea, something that's going on in the marketplace, and they're like, everybody march that way. Then about 2 months later, they switch all that up on you and they say, everybody march that way. And it's the new shiny bauble. They never complete anything and they never stick with anything because it's constantly changing. Or their mission statement is serve and love our customer. Doing what? What does that mean? That is so ambiguous and it could mean anything, right? So I work with so many people that tell me that their company vision is ambiguous or there is this shiny bauble syndrome. And what I will tell you is that sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. That is not fun and that's not a great place to be a part of. But you can control one thing. You, as a leader, can control your sphere of influence. And what I mean by that is whoever is on your team, under your care, under your leadership, you can create your own vision. You can take the mission and vision that is so ambiguous that your company is putting out there, or all of these different goals that they're marching towards, and boil that down to how your team, no matter what is thrown at them, how they make the company great. And then make that your driving force and make that the vision and the mission. And don't worry about what's above. Create your own ecosystem. I like to think of it as your greenhouse. Many people have greenhouses on their properties. And if it's winter, if it's spring, if it's fall, it doesn't matter. That greenhouse is a controlled environment where beautiful things grow. Get your greenhouse together and your team will become incredibly productive and they won't even focus on the noise around them, the shiny bauble syndrome all around them. So the next one I want to talk about is leading too many people. This is incredibly common because budget cuts and all sorts of things where, let's get rid of layers of management. So instead of having this pyramid, because it is a pyramid of people, we are just going to have one person managing, 40 people, 50 people. One of my clients actually is currently in charge of 40 people. That is not great leadership, right? Again, nothing that they had any control over, but it's basically setting them up for failure because you cannot possibly love and give attention to that many people. It is impossible. What you can do, though, is you can look at what all of these people are doing and group them. Because if you have 40 people, I find it hard to believe that all 40 people are doing 40 different tasks. I don't even think there are 40 different jobs in a working company. So take those people and see what they're working on and create working teams. Then I would have one-on-ones with various people within that team on a monthly basis. So you're going to rotate this, right? So that you're getting FaceTime with everyone and everyone feels comfortable. Maybe each team has a quote unquote leader for that month or for that quarter. So that 4 quarters in the year, you can actually have 4 different leaders on that team. And within that team, you can empower them to grow their leadership skills, learn how to effectively communicate with you, and you can hone in on those 4 to 5 leaders that you have deemed for those 40 people. That's incredibly important. Now you've empowered more people on your team. No one is necessarily the golden child because that happens too on these giant teams, but you are circulating leadership and you are creating leaders in waiting, which is incredibly important. That leads me to the next point. When and if the meeting comes up where opportunities for promotion come up, you now have data points of exactly how those teams should be led. And that is incredibly important. You now have potentially 10 to 15 leaders that you have tapped over the course of a year, and you can bring those to management and stack rank them as to how they should be promoted, what teams they should be a part of, and even if you want to pyramid up your organization so that you have fewer leaders that report to you and they are empowered to lead more teams. So the next one is, and the final one is, this one is the most important when it comes to your personal empowerment. You are not having hard conversations. Maybe you're not having them at all, or maybe you're waiting too long. So if you don't have a hard conversation when you need to have one, it snowballs. You have just set a precedence that that behavior or that way of doing a job or whatever it is okay. And when people don't get feedback, they do what they want to do. And because of that, that puts your team on a spiral of downhill productivity, meaning they are going to get less productive and less productive because you are not writing them. I like to think that your job as a leader for your team is, think of a bowling alley. When you throw that ball, I bowl with my kids periodically. When I throw the ball, there aren't bumpers up. That ball typically gutters. I'm not a great bowler. My children, on the other hand, when it's their turn to bowl, it comes right up. Those bumpers come right up and it writes the ball for them so that they always hit some pins. That is your job. You are the bumper. And by not giving that feedback often and as soon as it's needed, you are robbing your team of success in the future. Now, a hard conversation does not have to be, you are a terrible human being. In fact, it should be, you are doing amazing things, and here's how to make them even greater. Here's how to increase your influence. Here's how to streamline that process you just built. It's empowering them, not dispowering them. If this video affected you, I really want you to share it with a friend, a leader that you know is maybe struggling or just needs some new tips. I hope that you have a wonderful day.